I think he needed to paint big later on because he didn't want to start with the shape of the format of the canvas, as Cezanne had taught us all to do. He felt like, and you can see that every paint stroke in the mature Cezanne is more or less echoes the format, the rectangularity. So Pollock wanted to get free of that, so when he'd spread a canvas on the floor, as he took to doing, he didn't want to have that damn rectangle in his field of vision so soon. It was as though he wanted to find his way to it.
In Pollock's greatest paintings, I think the energy is clearly there, that whiplash line, the gestures, etc. But there's also a feeling of being able to enter these paintings because they are big. There's, with all the energy, a great calm. It's not just a feeling of grandness, but also a feeling of intimacy and quiet. One of his greatest paintings, Lavender Mist, I think is one of the most calm and lyrical paintings that an American ever painted.
One of the first things I think that I felt about Jackson's work is that it was energetic and it was vigorous, and it did have a very intense communicative power.
Actually, Pollock's art was incredibly highly controlled, and it took him years to really perfect the ability to control this kind of pouring, splattering, and dripping technique so as to give him an immense battery of effects that he could produce instantaneously. Now, people would say, well, anyone can pour that. I can take a can of paint and pour it. Now, it is certainly true, but anyone can go up to the piano and push the note C, and your C will be as good as Artur Rubinstein's or Horowitz's. And by the same token, if you spill a little paint, that's going to be, let's say, as good as Pollock for just that little spill. What makes Horowitz or Rubinstein is the succession of accents and the control and interrelationship of these accents as they come one after another. That is what we would call the touch of the pianist. But the tone is the same for you or for Rubinstein.
Well, Mr. Pollock, can you tell us how Monarch came into being?
It didn't jump out of the blue. It's a part of a long tradition, beginning back with Cezanne, up through the Cubists, the post-Cubists, to the painting being done today.
Well, it's definitely a product of evolution.
Yes.
And we go back to this method question, which so many people to think is important. Can you tell us how you developed your method of painting and why you paint as you do?
Well, method seems to me, a natural growth out of a need. And from a need, the modern artist has found new ways of expressing the world about him. I happen to find ways that are different from the usual techniques of painting, which seems a little strange at the moment, but I don't think there's anything very different about it. I paint on the floor, and which isn't unusual. The Orientals did that.
Well, how do you go about getting the paint on the canvas? I understand you don't use brushes or anything of that sort, do you?
Well, most of the paint I use is a liquid flowing kind of paint. The brushes I use are more as sticks rather than the brush. The brush doesn't touch the surface of the canvas. It's just above.
Well, isn't it more difficult to control than a brush?
No, I don't think so. With experience, it seems to be possible to control the flow of the paint to a great extent. And I don't use the accident. I deny the accident.
Pollock got his first commission, which was to do a portable mural for the foyer of the apartment house Peggy Guggenheim lived in. She didn't own it, and the mural was portable, and I saw it and shortly after it was hung, and I thought this made me suspect that Pollock was a great painter. The picture seems to repeat itself all over. It's become a staple of abstract painting now, but at the time, that's what it was called, as exalted wallpaper, and the mural, well, it just goes on and on. That's what made it so good.
Life magazine ran an article with this photograph of Jackson Pollock, and of course it captured the imagination of the public. And definitely part of Jackson's success was his cowboy image and throwing paint down and reckless and abandoned and so on. It was an exciting image.
I think that's one of the most important things about Pollock's work, actually, is that it isn't so much what you're looking at, but it's what's happening to you while you're looking at his particular work. And that's something I think that he had almost from the first pieces that I ever saw. They were attention-getting, they were riveting, and they had a power that changed your character and your personality.
The modern artist is living in a mechanical age, and we have this mechanical means of representing objects in nature, such as the camera and the photograph. The modern artist, it seems to me, is working and expressing an inner world. In other words, expressing the energy, the motion, and other inner forces.
Would it be possible to say that the classical artist expressed his world by representing the objects, whereas the modern artist expresses his world by representing the effect the objects have upon him?
Yes, the modern artist is working with space and time and expressing his feelings rather than illustrating